Hello, Fred Ack here. Fred ACC, all one word. Alrighty, today is Saturday, March the 8th. Saturday, March the 8th. And it is, what time is it? Well, let's look at the sundial. Looks like it's probably about 5 p.m. East Coast time. Why do I put these things on here? That way nobody accuses Fred Ack of past posting, telling you about how this or that after it happens. Doesn't do me any good, doesn't do you any good. Alrighty, I'd like to thank you all for being here today. As always, this is not financial advice, just the ideas that are swirling around in my head. Today it's the XRP Soapbox. That's the title of it all. I try to keep it short and sweet. Try to bring something different to the table that you don't hear from all the other talking heads. I have started to notice some of the talking heads that I do tune into. It seems like they are possibly watching Fred Ack, because some of them seem to be alluding to some of the things that Fred Ack mumbles about. I think we're going to start to see some kind of traction to the United States financial crisis. Something needs to be monetized for the U.S. government to get out of the horrible financial picture that they've printed themselves into. That's what I should say, printed themselves into. Printing money endlessly, not a good thing. If you monetize something, whether it's XRP, XYZ, whatever crypto thing or whatever token or whatever it might be, it's all kind of smoke and mirrors. It's kind of you're just kind of moving things this way to that way to appease the conscience of the globe. Understandable. Nothing's really being created or derived, but they're just kind of using it as a movement of numbers, and to appease the individual's conscience that, oh, we're okay. So let's move forward with XRP. It is at $2.35. Took a little bit of a dip down. You had this build-up all last week. Oh, there's going to be big things going on. Brad's going to the White House. This one's coming. That Fred Ack's going to be there. What the heck? And it fizzled out. There was a whole lot of nothing. There was a general thought of buy on the rumor, sell on the news. I'm not a big believer of all that because I don't think that there's enough followers of the crypto world. People know of Bitcoin the same way they knew of eBay 35 years ago, and it was used as a good one-liner in movies like by Spider-Man or whatever. It had its little chuckle to it, and so does Bitcoin, but the reality is that it is what it all is. If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it probably is a duck. Alrighty, let's get down to the important things. So, these are just my opinions. It's not financial advice. You had this build up to the big Friday meeting at the White House, and not a whole lot came out of it. Not that I heard all about it anyway. I wasn't in on the meeting, but the way that I look at it, I'm a New York City cynic, and I tend to think not the worst about everybody, but I'm kind of skeptical of a lot of things. The big money sets the narrative for almost everything, if you really think about it. From the color flyers that you get on the Sunday newspapers, which I don't have many more, but they would target the demographics of what area of the country or the world it was going to. If it was light-skinned, blonde-haired people, they'd have light-skinned, blonde-haired children that are taking the pictures of them wearing the Nike shoes or the whatever jeans are in, Jordache or whatever it is. Dating myself quite a bit here. But you know what I'm talking about, hopefully. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. So my thinking is that the big money knew that a whole lot of nothing had come out of all this. What a perfect time to step on XRP. Let's try to get the herd running towards the exit so we can pick some up on the cheap. And that is what I think has happened. Volume. There was not a lot of volume going on, but naturally, the bidders were cautious, not wanting to bid, and the sellers came in. Now, Is there a short interest of XRP? Probably. How much it is, I don't know. That's a great question to ask some of the big talking heads, the ones who know everything about crypto and XRP, the ones that have 200,000 subscribers, 69,000 views. Reach out, ask them. This crazy guy, Fred Ack, he's asking, how much is the short interest? Are they shorting this thing? Because that would tell me a lot. Excuse me. Alrighty, so I think that it's quite possible that the big money did a little bit of a run on XRP due to the lack of chitter-chatter about XRP. For that matter, the rest of them too. I guess all I kind of heard was that something the government's going to store up some Bitcoin or something. I guess they've already got a bunch of it or whatever from whatever they've snatched out of the drug dealers or whatever, cartels or whatever. So it wouldn't put it past me for them to put a little bit of a pressure on it. If they see the bids and the offers, if they see the bids are light and you could step it down by just unloading 200,000-300,000 of them, hit the sell button. Knock this rascal down. What I do notice is quickly as it gets knocked down, that's how quickly it seems to go right on back up. The buying comes right on back in there. Are they inducing people the individuals to get out? It's quite possible. I think that it is. But whatever I think really doesn't really matter. The bottom line is that it's at $2.35. And I will share this now. For anybody thinking about getting on board with it, at $2.35, you can buy 100 of these at $235. Not a lot of money, not no money, but it's $235. Well, if XRP hits $3,000 for each one of them, which I think is definitely possible down the road, 100 of these times 3,000 is $300,000. And if it ever went to $30,000 and you're still sitting on that 100 of them and you forgot that you owned them, or you bought 200 and you got rid of 100 of them or scaled them down the way that I posted that how to scale out of a huge winner, then you'd have $3 million. How many things can you put $235 into that might turn into $3 million? And can it happen? I look at Bitcoin, the road that traveled. I look at Ethereum. Based on what? I don't know. I guess the greed factor. Somebody can comment down below or above or wherever and let me know about it, but that's the way that I kind of see it, is that. And of course, look, if I can buy Bitcoin at 60,000 today and sell it for 65,000 tomorrow, it's the greater fool theory. It's wonderful and it works for me. Understandable. Some people enjoyed my last posting with something about Kung Fu and about Bruce Lee or whatever. And Bruce Lee, I think it was the one who had said, you take the teapot and you pour water inside of it. You become the teapot. You become the water. What does that all mean? I don't know. But I'll share another one with you, which kind of does relate to what's going on with the Friday meeting and this stuff and that stuff. Might have been Mark Twain and it might not have been him. But someone had come up with the saying that it is easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they're being fooled. And that kind of tells you about the masses of human beings, how easily manipulated that we are, which I happen to think that comment is pretty accurate. So, the big money narrative on how they play things out, whatever they're doing, I want to dance the opposite beat to it. That's just how I look at it all. So for this thing holding at $2.35, sure, you could get on board here. And Fred Act doesn't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what I actually think. At $2.93, $2.95, it's probably a safer buy that is going to the upside. If it breaks to an all-time high above $3.80, $3.85, towards $4, it's going a whole bunch higher. Because there will be a catalyst behind it that's causing that, and the masses will start to take notice of it. I think they already have, I believe it is already decoupled from the movements with the others. It's not joined at the hip with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the other big ones. This thing has already started to shine and show that it stands on its own. Now it's just a question of the ETFs, regulation. Give us a level playing field, and you'll bring in the wealth from around the globe to start playing the game. When they start playing the game, there's going to be waves. Knowing how to trade the waves would be critical. I got to get that board out here and start showing. Once again, as I've said in the past, when it comes to day trading things, you're looking for every opportunity to be lined up on your side so that there's a very strong probability that you will be profitable on the trade that you make. When it comes to the crypto world, I'm not sure that there's really all that much out there that you could put together. I see a lot of the big talking heads. They're selling this plan. I've got the course. I've got this. Buy on blue, sell on red, yada, yada. It's all great stuff. Kind of reminds me of P.T. Barnum. There's a sucker born every day and two to take him. Well, with all that being said, hope you're enjoying the Saturday. I want to thank you all for being here. May all your days be winning ones. And let's see what happens with this XRP. I also strongly suggest that people make a game plan and stick with the game plan. That's an important thing. If you're in this for generational wealth, don't worry about the waves up, the waves down. Just worry about where you're getting out at down the road. See you in the, not the poor house, what was the rich house? Rich who? Alrighty, want to thank you all for being here. Have a great day.